Okay, now it's time to try this Indian style Lingcod head ramen. I have my taste tester with me. You want to bite? Hello everyone, welcome to Two Brown Guys Hunt. I'm Nikhil, one of the brown guys. Hopefully when schedules align, we can do a in-person Two Brown Guys Hunt, catch and cook with Shiven, but for right now, he just got me. So today we are doing pretty cool play on ramen. We're going to be using this Lingcod head. This Lingcod I caught on a fishing trip out when we were going for tuna. Tuna weren't biting, switched it up, caught this nice ling. We're going to do a little play on ramen. We're going to do like an Indian style ramen using a lot of Indian spices and using Maggi noodles. If you're South Asian brown dude, you love Maggi noodles. So I think it's a super fun recipe, super cool play on ramen, and it's going to be super delicious. So, like I said, we're going to be utilizing this this Lingcod head. Heads can be a little intimidating when it comes to fish. You know, they have that fishy smell, lots of bones, etc. But it's super approachable, and I'll kind of walk you guys through this process. So, as you can see, it's a little slimy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna salt it, and it'll kind of remove that slime and kind of get rid of some of that fishiness. So important note: you want your head fully prepared. You want the gills removed, and like the guts that are still in there, you want that out of there. So now that that's done, we will just finish salting this off. Put a little more salt on there, rub it all in there. Just gonna remove that slime. Alright, so you got this. Now we're just gonna let this sit for a little bit, let that salt kind of penetrate, take some of that moisture out. Alright, so while that's all salted, rubbed, getting some of that slime off, we're going to go over what we're going to do for the boil. So we're going to create a little broth, we're going to add our aromatics, and that's what this Lingcod head's going to simmer in, about 30 to 40 minutes, and all that skin, all the meat's just going to fall off the bones. So for the stock, we're going to want 2 cinnamon sticks, pinch of cloves, 4 to 5 cardamom pods, a tablespoon of black peppercorns. I love Kampot peppercorns. It's a peppercorn from Cambodia. My travels there, it's a great pepper. It adds like way more spiciness than traditional pepper. We'll also have a tablespoon of coriander seeds and a solid pinch of saffron. This is optional. Saffron can be expensive, but I think it really enhances any kind of fish. So throw that into a pot. And we're just gonna get this going to a gentle simmer before we add the Lingcod. All right, so after about 4 to 5 minutes, you rub this down with salt. The slime's starting to appear. It's kind of cool to show you guys. You can see a Lingcod mouth, the sharp teeth, super duper predatory fish, but also very tasty fish. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all the bones after all the meat falls off and everything. I'm going to try to reconstruct the skull and build a cool mount with it. So I don't know if I'll do a video on that, but if people are interested, let me know in the comments and we'll see what we can do. So we're just going to rinse this off. And all that slime coat should come out of there. Get it on there. You can get some of that other gunk out in there too. And then boom. Clean Lingcod head. All right, so you can see here, We're up to a nice gentle simmer. Turn it down a little bit so it can stay there. And now we're just gonna put our Lingcod head in. So in goes the head. And as you can see, we want just enough water to cover the ling. So we're just gonna put this on cover, let it come back up to a simmer. I'll show in the video too, but you'll see as this continues to go, proteins will start to rise, that skin will start to come off, and we're just gonna wanna skim that off so it doesn't impart some like kind of flavors in the broth. You can not only see the skin and the meat from the fins is coming off, so. I forgot to mention the early part of the video that we are going to also add cilantro stems, whites from a scallion, and then we're also going to add maybe like a tablespoon or two of tamarind paste. All right, so the head's going in the broth. That skin, that meat's all starting to fall off. It's gonna be super awesome. So while that's going, I'm just gonna prep stuff for the masala fry. So this is what we're gonna throw all that Lingcod meat into once it all comes off. So we're gonna have onion, ginger, and some minced garlic. And then when we kind of stir fry it, I'll go over the spices as well. But so to prep the onion, I like onion cut lengthwise when it comes to this. Traditionally, in a lot of Indian cooking, a lot of Indian curry, you create a paste with the onion, ginger, and garlic. But my preference is to have the onion long cut because I think it adds a lot better texture when they get crispy, and it just adds like a kind of different element to a dish rather than being all kind of mushy. So chop the onion like so. So you're gonna get onion slices that look kind of like this. All right, for the ginger, just gonna kind of cut along these edges, peel that skin off. I'm actually just gonna throw these scraps into the stock. That's why I'm not being like super careful here. If you wanted to, you can just use a spoon and peel all the skin off and then chop the garlic. But I think I want a little more garlic flavor in that broth. Okay. All right, so for the garlic, we're just going to cut into like matchsticks. I really like, same thing goes, I don't really like that ginger garlic kind of paste thing. I kind of like these pieces of garlic when I make curries and masala fries and things like that. So I think it adds like a better bite. So I'm just gonna get them looking like this. And then I already pre-minced my garlic, but you just kind of want the garlic to be this kind of consistency. All right, so as you know, and a lot of ramen fan knows, no ramen is complete without toppings. So for the toppings for this kind of Indian style ramen I chose, this is even common in Japanese style ramens obviously, is some scallion. So we're just gonna chop the scallion greens nice and small. You're gonna kind of have it like this kind of consistency. And then again, if you're South Asian, you're brown, you freaking love cilantro. So I'm going to rough chop this cilantro. It's gonna go as one of our toppings. All right, so one of my favorite vegetables in the world, actually my favorite vegetable in the world is okra. This is also very intimidating to a lot of people who've never worked with it before because it can get slimy, etc. But I'm going to show you a cool trick with okra. So we're going to take ends off and we're going to chop into pieces kind of like around this big. And a trick to never have slimy okra is you're just going to put it on a bowl, on a plate, on some paper towels, and then just salt them. And mix it up. That salt's going to draw all the moisture. The paper towel's going to pick it up, and you're going to have less slimy and less moist okra. And then what we're going to do is quick fry it in a little bit of avocado oil, and it'll be a nice crunchy topping for our ramen. All right, so we boiled the head, meat's fallen off, the bone, the skin's fallen off. Might have boiled a little too long, not for doneness or anything, but I told you guys that I'm trying to rebuild the skull and all the teeth fell out, so it should be fun, you know, gluing that stuff back together. But now it's like cooled off a little bit. What we want to do is separate all the meat. So you can kind of see here, this piece of meat, I took some of the skin off. It's just flaking apart, no bones or anything. And we're just gonna collect that, put that on the side. So you're just gonna, it's a little tedious and manual, but you're gonna wanna pick through, see this chunk of meat, wanna take some of this skin off. And, or if you like the skin, you can eat the skin. Some people don't like the texture, you know, it doesn't really matter, but so, and you can see it's just flaking off like that. All right, so I tediously picked all that meat off, and look how much we're left with. This is why we don't like to throw away the heads or the bodies, because there's so much meat on them, and with a little bit of effort, you can get to it, and it tastes pretty delicious. So, let's get into this masala fry.
We will start by heating 2 tablespoons of oil on medium-high heat. I prefer avocado oil. Then drop in your onions and ginger with a little bit of salt, like half tablespoon. And we're just going to cook these till the onions get nice and translucent. Once the onions have cooked down a little and become translucent, we'll add our spices. We'll start off with 2 tablespoons of garam masala. Garam masala is a mix of a bunch of spices, and you can get it at any Asian or Indian grocery store. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of mustard seeds. This adds a great kind of bitter note. Then a tablespoon of cumin seeds, and then a half tablespoon of turmeric. Give that a good mix and let that cook down for a few minutes before adding the garlic. Once you add the garlic, mix it in and continue to cook down. Once the onions are browned, toss in the Lingcod head meat and mix. You want to give it a good thorough mix, make sure that meat gets fully coated. You only need to cook for around a minute just to heat up the meat since it's already cooked.
So I want to talk about the noodles real quick. We're going to use Maggi noodles for this. It's really popular in South Asia, especially India. Since it's like an Indian spin on ramen, I'm going to use these. You can use any noodles you like. You know, rice vermicelli noodles kind of work well too, but they kind of look like this. You can get it at any Indian grocery store. Even the Asian grocery stores usually have it, like H Mart, things along those lines. I've ordered off Amazon before. And then the most important thing about Maggi noodles is the Maggi seasoning. So you probably noticed I didn't add a ton of salt into the stuff we were making. That's because this is loaded in salt, and we're going to add this to the fish broth when we make the Maggi noodles. So let's make some noodles.
Break your Maggi noodles into a pot, and we're going to ladle in enough of that delicious Lingcod head broth we made earlier to just cover the noodles. That's going to be enough liquid to cook the noodles thoroughly. After about 5 minutes, the noodles will be almost done. Now it's time to add in the 2 Maggi noodle packets and cook for a few more minutes till the noodles are done. The noodles will be nice and soft and have a good bite to them, and they'll look like this when they're done. Now that everything is made, it's time to plate. Start by adding your noodles and broth. Then the Lingcod Masala Fry, okra, cilantro, and green onion. And if you want to add any other toppings, feel free to. That's the best part about a bowl of noodles. They're a perfect canvas.
Okay, now it's time to try this Indian style Lingcod head ramen. I have my taste tester with me. Avi, you want a bite?
No bite.
No bite. You don't want to cooperate for the video? Yeah, here, bite. All right, well, bite for me. It's super good, buddy. Noodles? Noodles are perfect. Herbs are great. The Lingcod meat is super tender, and the crispy okra has a good crunch. Like and follow for more.